Good morning, I'm Baz. This is I Sharpen, and today I'm going to sharpen two very special cleavers. Come and have a look. Okay, so they're Chinese cleavers. There's a QR code there. I suppose we could go and have a look at that, but I've sharpened this one before. It actually came back to me not sharp enough, so they want a very steep angle on that one. And this one's interesting because it's obviously high carbon, but I've never heard of VCI paper, volatile corrosion inhibitor treatment. Place opposite side against metal. Do not unwrap until ready for use. So that's interesting, isn't it? Let's have a quick look at it. Obviously it's a carbon cleaver. Characters there, if anybody can tell me what that means. I don't even know which way it goes. Obviously a little bit rusty, and this one's got some damaged corners. Let's see if I can get a good view of that. All right, now I told him, I said, look, I don't want to take this edge up to there, because we're you know, the higher up we go, the thicker we go. So what about if we just round them off? He doesn't use it for tenderizing. Sometimes some of the chefs use it for tenderizing like that. Right, and he said, no, we don't use it like that. So I'm going to just round that off. But first I'll grind it, and then we'll see how far up I go, and then I'll round it off a little bit later on. And this side the same. So yeah, that should be interesting. We'll do this one first. Now, obviously doing a cleaver on a normal rest won't suit. And I'll tell you, I'll go into this a little bit more. I have mentioned it a few times before, but compare the maximum heights. See, we've got a lot more height in the US 430 than we do in the standard rest. So I'll show you how that, why that matters. So let's, yep. Come on, mate. That's about as high as I can get that one, because I still need to screw the clamp in. Right, so that's about as high as that can get. And as you can see, I'm still not on the edge. Right? If I was to start grinding that, I would start grinding it about halfway up the blade. No good. Right, so this is as high as I can go. I used to try and figure this out by, you know, strapping a piece of wood onto here or somehow elevating it, but no. So the solution is to buy the US 430, which is, it's not the cheapest thing on earth, but if you're a commercial or professional sharpener, you need it. You need it because you're going to come across cleavers, and they're a bit of a hassle. But with this one, it makes it really easy. You can get onto the wheel. There I am on the wheel already. But I want to make sure that this is nice and sharp. So I'm going to set it for, well, this is already set to 14. Now I checked my wheel. For those of you who've been catching up, this Blackstone wheel has been on 220 mil diameter for a very long time. At least a couple of dozen knives, if not more. 2 or 3 dozen knives. So 30, maybe more knives. And I just checked it this morning and it's dropped 1 mil. So that's not bad. These stones last a long time, especially if you don't hit them too much with the grading wheels, which you don't have to, because as I've said a few more times, but I don't know who's watching, these have got a sharp carbides in them And so even on the super smooth setting, it will cut the knife. It will grind the knife away. Now that's handy because it means that I can leave it on the smooth setting, I can grind the knife away, and it will still be sharp enough, even though it's smooth, to do the job. But the benefit is that I only have one operation to do. I just grind it on here, job's done. So let's measure and see what angle we've got here. It's a bit chilly this morning. I think it measured about minus 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, that needs to come up a bit. Perfect. Straight into it. Now, this one does have a bit of damage, which I'm going to have to grind down past. You can see it there. Like that one single pass created lots of grinding already. You see now, if I was on the SG250 and where's the chip? Oh, here. If I was on the SG250 set on the superfine setting, it would take many passes to get that much grinding done. Now it's very important to make sure that the rest is not up on an angle and flat when you start, especially on cleavers. They're far more sensitive to incorrect angles than a regular knife. It's important to be smooth in your action, and I do that by not focusing on the speed. I focus on the wheel and the grinding, and I let my body move naturally. If you focus on the speed, or trying to be smooth, you won't be as smooth as if you just forget about it. Tell your body this has got to be as slow as possible, and just look right there where you're grinding and you'll be smooth. It's same happens when you're a welder. I used to be a welder, so that's where I get my smoothness from, but if you're not lucky enough to have that experience, sometimes you can get a bit twitchy. You can see a bird developing. Has that chip disappeared? Yes, it has. Ding. That was my phone, not yours. Another large knife order coming in. Repeat customers. Okay. Clean it up so I can pass my engineering eye over it. Looks good. Looks even. Should make for a very sharp knife. So let's get that burr off. The reason that I leave the clamp still on the knife is a couple of reasons, two mostly. One is that it's easier to hold. I get a third point of gripping. And the other one is that if I notice something that needs regrinding, I don't have to set everything up again. It's already clamped and ready to go. I can give it another quick pass. And sometimes that happens when I miss a chip. I can feel it on my fingernail. Now these days I've started including an immediate guarantee. And what does that mean? That means that if upon first use of the knife they immediately don't like it, it could be not that it's not sharp, but it's maybe not cutting the way they wanted it to, which is geometry related, so it could be the wrong angle. Bring it back and I'll do it again for free. No problem. It's only a few moments out of my life, I don't care. That is silky smooth. Few little prickles right at the top. Couple still there. Job done. Now it occurred to me that me rubbing the wax off with the microfiber cloth could be doing some burr removal without requiring the kangaroo tail, because it's kind of rough. You know what I mean? So it could be doing some of that by itself. It was interesting. Let's test and see if it's sharp enough off the wheel or whether it needs a touch. It should glide through here effortlessly. Oh, good entry. Oh, see, a bit lifty. That's That's not good. I mean, it's close. See, grabbing, oh, it's grabbing a bit of the back. Oh, it's gone through. That's pretty sharp, but I think it could do with a little bit of stropping. See if that's improved it. Not bad. Still a little bit, a few noises. I'm using medium pressure. I don't know whether doing it on the suede side helps or not, but it seems to be a more gentle process, so I suppose it can't hurt. Oh, it's pretty sharp. I think just a little bit more. That's much better. Much better. See that? Magnificent. All right, that's one down. One to go. Show you what that looks like. Beautiful. Nice. Where do those papers go? There's one. There's another. Got to keep the place clean, otherwise the internet gets upset. Don't want to be upsetting the internet. I was on Facebook the other day. How bad has that gotten? Wow, it's like all the worst people on earth hang around in Facebook still. So bad. So bad. All right. Now, blue steel. I might just clean up some of this rust before we get started. Using 4/0 or 000040 steel wool. And apparently one of my fantastic viewers said that, did you know that you can get stainless steel wool? I did not. So I'm going to try and get some of that. I ordered some special supplies from Hawaii. Sharpening supplies. Who knows what that means? There'll be a special video coming up soon. Wait for them to arrive. Okay, now this one doesn't have a bevel. It looks like it's been sharpened on a stone. We'll see. That's probably at about 13 degrees. I can see a little bit of air gap above a 14-degree setting. So I'm just going to leave it at that and just see what happens. Looks like it's got some various thicknesses going on here, which often happens when they're ground on a stone. It undulates, and so therefore the bevels are a bit weird. A little bit thinner on the top than it is at the bottom. But we'll keep going. I can see the burr coming up in the clear water, but I'm just missing a bit at the back here because of the thickness variation, but I'm getting there. I might try and roughen it up a little bit with the 320. I can feel a burr everywhere, but it's not super even. So I'm just going to keep working it for a little bit more. It seems to be fatter at the back than it is at the front, which is often the case. But when you're dealing with super small angles, the bevels tend to accentuate the difference, and you get a small bevel at the tip and a fat bevel at the heel. Not a problem, but sometimes it gets a bit wobbly at the back. You've got to give the wheel a chance to do its job. Okay, that looks better. Needs a little bit more, I think. All right. Oh, I've got a bit of a facet on this heel, so I'm just going to give that another little try. Look at the movement in this jig. This is why plastic shaft was not a good idea. Look at that. Come on, Tormek. You can do better than that. Now, I've recently heard that Magnolia knife sharpening, look it up, Magnolia, is going to be machining a thumb cup into their metal shafted retro fit, and they're going to ship to Australia. So that means that this cup of mine may not be necessary. We can all just go and buy them off him, which is fine by me. Which is fine by me. Go and check it out. Magnolia knife sharpening. And apparently he never had a problem shipping to Australia. He just had to configure his shop, or his shopping cart, to allow it. He had to figure that out. Now he has. So the whole world can enjoy his fine engineering. They're a good metal unit. that screws straight onto this, and that way we get a full metal piece, which eliminates that flex. I mean, you know, it's very weird because Tormek does not appear to be a company that's that concerned with saving money. All their gear is quite expensive, and I don't know why they chose to just plastify this thing when clearly rigidity is an issue. Nice. Nice. That's me. So you can see that we have a small bevel at the top, at the tip, but a wide bevel at the heel. That's at the same angle. That's because the heel is thicker than the tip. Now also, I've noticed that by grinding, these chips have become less of a problem, and I'm going to probably just do those by hand with my diamond files. This one's almost gone entirely. Actually, I might do that now. So I use Easy Lap diamond files. Beautiful. Finish it off with a super fine. Nice. Take that burr off. Still a few little prickles there. A little bit more. Okay. Now, obviously, they're going to be fine as it is on the magazine. Ooh, so quiet. But let's have a look on the tally-ho. That's pretty good. But you know me, I cannot leave well enough alone. I'll give it a couple of passes on the suede. Beautiful. That's it, we're done. Oh, it's even got swingage. Okay. Well, that's the home bell. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next movie. Chili's out in the sun. There he is. G'day, Chili. Say hello to everyone. Nope. Well, you're very mysterious. Yeah, you are. Oh, bowing nicely. All right, that's it, folks. See you in the next one.